As we all know, changes are coming for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that ball has already started rolling. What the hell am I talking about? You'll find out coming up next.
I'm from the home of the greatest football team in America today, the Philadelphia Eagles. Get it right or pay the price.
Thanks for making that click. This is the Eagles News Now podcast. I'm professional wrestler Chris Wild, live from bar 4133. And as we know, the 2020 NFL season finally came to an end for the Philadelphia Eagles last Sunday night. Now, obviously, they didn't go quietly, and you can see some videos on my channel about that, but that's not what this is about. I'm done looking to the past. Let's talk about the future and the future of the Eagles team. Now, some changes definitely have to be made and will be made, for better or for worse, on the personnel side and the front office side. And as far as the front office goes, it seems like we might have some answers to what we're going to see in 2021. Unfortunately, it looks like GM Howie Roseman is going to stay on in that role as GM. I'm still hoping he gets promoted and they hire another GM because he's not going to leave. Jeffrey Lurie absolutely loves this guy for some reason. However, going into the NFL draft with the 6th pick, I do not want him anywhere near that selection. We'll see what happens with that. Also, Coach Doug Peterson looks like he is going to come back to the team. No real problems from me as far as that is concerned. I know a lot of my viewers and subscribers might think differently. I'm okay with Doug Peterson coming back because there is going to be some positive change that has just been announced. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Rich Scangarello and Marty Mornhinweg. Their contracts are going to expire, and the Eagles do not want them back. Now, last year, the Eagles needed an offensive coordinator after Mike Groh was let go, even after Doug Peterson said that he wanted him back and was going to stay. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman did the old okey doke and pulled the rug out beneath Doug Peterson, making him look like a complete buffoon in the process as Mike Groh left. Now, look, even with the 2019, I'm not saying if Mike Groh was back last year that the offense would have been better, because it definitely needed a change in so many different aspects. But the way the Eagles went about hiring not an offensive coordinator, not a traditional offensive coordinator, but about 15 different offensive assistants was just insane. Now, I did videos being optimistic, thinking maybe it could work if you get a bunch of great minds together where they could come up with something that would possibly make this offense better. Now, whether it was them just not having an off season to actually all get together, obviously we all know about COVID-19 and the pandemic. I can't use that as an excuse because there are other teams that have new coaching staffs that somehow made it work, and some that are in the playoffs now. It was just doomed to begin with. Again, Marty Mornhinweg, to me, I've never seen the appeal of this guy ever. When he was here before, when he was a coach with the Lions, a horrible coach, by the way, I just don't understand it, but whatever, they brought him in. And Scangarello, I heard great things about, but apparently he didn't mix well with Doug or the rest of the offensive assistants. To me, I think maybe you give Deuce Staley a look at calling plays. However, as far as offensive coordinator goes, the Eagles have kind of leaked that they're going to give that traditional offensive coordinator, instead of 15 different, they're going to give that back to Doug Peterson. Now, when he had Frank Reich in that position, Doug Peterson still called the plays, but having a guy like Frank there to help, to assist, to help design plays, to run offensive meetings, definitely helped Doug Peterson out tremendously. As we know, they went to the Super Bowl that year and still had success with Mike Groh in 18 and 19. However, let's talk about who I think might get the call. Now, look, my number one, I'm thinking Jim Caldwell. There was talks of them I think they might have even interviewed him last year, but there were talks of him coming on, and I wish that he would have. If the Eagles keep Carson Wentz, that's the guy that I'm looking at to keep. I'm also going to be taking a look at Buffalo Bills quarterback coach Ken Dorsey. I think he's definitely going to get scooped up this year by some team as an offensive coordinator for the work that he's done, not just with the offense, But with Josh Allen, I mean, here's a guy that I looked at as like a so-so quarterback, might even be a bust, and he's had an absolute MVP-type season this year, and I think Ken Dorsey has a lot to do with that. I would love for them to bring him on as an offensive coordinator, but if it was between him and Jim Caldwell, I would definitely go Caldwell. I also mentioned I mentioned Deuce Staley to help Doug Peterson. I wouldn't be really mad at that either, even though I feel like they need somebody outside the building to come in and fill in that role. Now, will they be calling plays? I have no idea. Doug Peterson has called the plays since he's been here. He might have to let those duties go in order for them to get a top-notch, great offensive coordinator in the building. A guy like Jim Caldwell, I don't know if he would be good being the OC without calling plays. Now, in other news, and we knew this was going to happen as I held a little bit of a celebration earlier last week, is that Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz is absolutely done. He is not returning to the Eagles. He's going to take a year off and then might even retire. Now, look, I had fun with this last week, having a little celebration, being really excited that Jim Schwartz was gone. Look, as everybody knows, I did not like the guy here as defensive coordinator. I just didn't. I could name off the hundreds of reasons why. However, I'm not going to do that. Look, the guy, listen, he's part of that nucleus that won us the Super Bowl. I'll never forget that moment in my entire life, or that season in my entire life either. The unbelievable stop versus the Atlanta Falcons in the playoffs at the end of that game, and then completely destroying the Minnesota Vikings offense. And even though Tom Brady had 500 yards and it was a horrible defensive game, you can't forget that strip sack by Brandon Graham. Obviously, Jim Schwartz had something to do with that play design. So, yeah, I just want to thank Jim Schwartz for helping us win that Super Bowl. And, look, the years after were very rough for me, but I will never forget that. When I think about Jim Schwartz, I'm not going to think about my disdain for him and my absolute joy when he announced he wasn't going to be here. I will think about that 2017 Super Bowl. So, yeah, we should all definitely thank Jim Schwartz for that. Now, who replaces him? I have absolutely no idea. I have a feeling that they're going to promote from within. I think maybe Matt Burke, who's a defensive line coach, might get that job. The Eagles' defensive line, as hurt as it was all year, they still were, top 3 in sacks. That unit, to me, in big games didn't really come through, but again, everyone looks at numbers and it's very easy to promote from within. I hope they go with a veteran guy like Dan Quinn. Who knows what his future is going to be? I don't see him being another head coach, but I would like to see him. I don't want any part of Greg Williams. I hope that does not happen. And as far as the Eagles wanting to bring in character guys, I doubt that happens. Greg Williams is a piece of garbage in my opinion. However, to end this on a positive note, we have some change coming, and hopefully it is positive change. I can't see, and knock on wood here at Bar 4133, it being any worse than it was last year with the 25 offensive assistants that did nothing but run into each other. It was like a bunch of monkeys trying to F a football. Horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. Give Doug a little bit more control. I don't care what you guys think of him. He should have say in who's playing. He should have say in who his coaches are going to be. The guy won a Super Bowl, for God's sakes. Hopefully Jeffrey Lurie wakes up and realizes, give the guy a little bit more control, especially when it comes to these coaches and his staff. It's just unreal. Again, another video for another day. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope everybody is staying safe out there, enjoying 2021 for what it is, keeping positive and all the negativity of the outside world out of your life, and just enjoying some of the freedoms we have, like being able to run my mouth on YouTube is pretty nice. Again, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all. Go Birds. I'll see you later.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation.